saying that capitalism right now is bad. I'm not doing
Nobody's
it.
making a judgment. I'm telling you that he fits the exact dictionary, not dictionary definition of a capitalist. He is a capitalist. He owns a publicly facing company on the New York Stock Exchange. His job is to maximize investor gains. He's a capitalist by that very nature. His job is to
So
make money. That's what it is.
are you anti-capitalist or capitalism?
So yeah, I think I am.
Well, I mean, if that's your belief system, then that's your belief system. Like, you then you have to, when you do that belief system, you have to be like a.
I think I am, like, at this current point in time, because the concentration of money has gotten so out of control that I genuinely don't think that like the American government truly represents the will of the people anymore. Like, the concentrated capital at this point has gotten so, it's gotten so crazy that special interests truly rule the United States, and like what people on the ground actually, like the rest of the people in this country, what they actually believe, it doesn't really matter. So no, I'm not a capitalist. I think it's really I think it needs to be regulated, like it needs to be regulated like severely, basically. And if you don't see that, then you have huge problems.
Yeah, but when you speak of regulations and you do all that, now you're speaking into government, and then now you're
Yeah, I
trusting
am.
but you're trusting a government now to.
I'm trusting a body that is answerable to me. And yeah, you can call that the government. Because right now the government is answerable to capital interest, and not to people, not to like anybody of my same social status.
I think that not only changes the world you live, that becomes into you almost are like a Chinese society at that point. You're like I thought you were anti-China. You're afraid of the Chinese.
I'm not. I'm more afraid of my own government. Let me put it that way. I have no worries about China coming over here and invading the United States.
No, 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 no. We're speaking of that. Would you want to live in a,
They're communists.
yeah, a communist
They're
country?
nominally speaking, they're communists, but are they actually communists? I don't know.
They are a
It's kind of a
communist
hard
company.
sell. I mean, they have a lot of capitalism there. Do they have the same
No,
wealth
no.
inequality? Do they have the same wealth inequality problem as the United States? I don't think so, because like they're
I
not
think it's
far enough
greater.
along. You know, they kill billion.
I'm almost
They'll like
for
kill you.
certain.
They'll kill billionaires over there.
I'm almost for certain for a fact that their poverty levels is greater on a G, not because they have a bigger population. You have to look at it from like the percentage. I think the percentage of their poor class is pretty high up. I think they have a bigger middle class, and they have a bigger rich class. But I think their poor population is pretty high. China is like if I
Yeah,
have a if I
do you know why? But they would be even poorer if it wasn't for communism.
so this is what I'm trying to say is like saying now is it's if you would say in the 70s and the 80s that hey, I want a communist, you know how you would sound? Maybe now today that talking
I don't
point's very.
I don't give a fuck how I would sound in the 70s or 80s. I don't give a fuck about that.
I mean, okay, so
Who
like,
cares?
so you would be okay switching to a communist regime with our
Uh,
government being the way
I don't
how it
know.
is.
All I know is that whatever this system is right now, it's not working. I can tell you that much.
Problem with
Does it have to be a
capitalism.
communist regime? I don't know. I don't think so. But definitely this capitalist bullshit that's going on right now, it does not work.
There's no moral like turpitude. There's no moral like in capitalism. So that's where you can start getting the negative approaches. That's when you can start getting the cynicism. That's where you can start getting all that. But capitalism, if you have good morals, but some would argue that's not real capitalism, then capitalism is freedom. Look at it that way.
It's not even about. It's not. No, it's not about. What the fuck are you talking about?
It is essentially.
So all these cops that are like bashing in these students' heads for protesting for Palestine, that's freedom to you?
What's that got to do with capitalism? Did somebody pay them to do that?
Because what's that got to do with? It has everything. How do you not see this, dude? It's because who's paying these politicians? It's like moneyed interests. Like these like ultra rich people are paying politicians to go basically regulate free speech in this country, to go like bash in the heads of protesters in this country, to literally end the First Amendment in this country for the sake of Israel. And then you're over here talking to me about fucking freedom. Like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
But you're saying that you're saying
No,
that
just you don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think you can correlate.
Yeah, you can. I'm literally giving you a direct correlation. Why do you think that these politicians do it for fun? Because they love Israel so much? It's like, no, dude. It's because they're literally paid to have these opinions. They have masters, dude, and that these people at the end of the day,
It would be way worse
they're doing what
without
their
it.
donors want. Would be way worse without it.
It's
Okay.
at least in this system, even though it's not working, right? At least there's a chance of a turnaround. Okay. On the other
No,
aspect of
there's
it,
not. There's literally
if the
under this
Israeli
current
government
regime,
told if the Israeli
under this
government
current regime, there's no fucking chance. There's no chance.
if the Israeli government told the U.S. government, right, that hey, which they are doing anyways, right? And they're listening to them. But there was no like other, like you said, people backing them, right? Which could be
Wait, can
more
you
Jews.
be more specific, dude? Be more specific.
If the Israeli government was telling the U.S. government, "Hey, stop these protests," okay, under
Yeah, they
the they'll stop,
Literally Netanyahu came out and said stop the protests. That's
right?
what he literally said. Yeah.
What does that have to do with special
Okay.
interest groups? You're talking of the how the government's formed.
Okay. Do you know what APAC is or no? Okay. What is APAC?
It's just it's the lobbyists, the people who like donate to all the
But what
president
is their? I
campaign.
mean, what?
They pick the
Okay, yeah. And
president.
what are they? Why are they donating? Like,
They
what do they want?
donating
Like,
on
why are
their
they
special
donating? Yeah.
interest needs, whatever their needs are,
And what is
whatever.
that? What is that exactly?
Right now the needs are Israel to be Israel.
Yeah, it's basically Israeli like Zionist
Okay,
maximalism is what they support, right?
okay.
Okay.
Now let's
So
say these special interest groups now are the opposite. There's a chance where you can get richer people to donate to other people to say, "Hey, these are the new special interest group." You have to have an elite class doing that, and then you can control it. That's the beauty of capitalism, right? There's a way to fight it with
no,
capital.
it's not. No, that's not because now all the wealth is already concentrated in a few hands at this point, and like there's like what are you gonna do in the meantime? Yeah, maybe over like what like first off, how do you get the money out of those people's hands?
Which people?
The people who are paying off our politicians, like how do you get the money out of their hands exactly?
You over
Because
you
there's a
outbid
finite
them.
supply of money. No, no, you don't understand. So there's a finite supply of money in this world, right? And it's already concentrated into a few hands. So they have like more money than God, basically. Yeah. And so like what's your proposal then
My
for
proposal is this: if you have special interest groups who have dollars that are greater than those in a capitalist society, you can win. Okay, but it's hard, right? It's complex. It takes
wait, they have repeat your statement. If you have what?
if you have another special interest group with the
Uh-huh.
dollars to match or outpay the, because that's what capitalism is. You can, if you outbid me, it's yours. I can be
Yeah.
bought. I can be sold.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the special interest groups, the lobbyists who are fighting for Israel, more likely than not, they're probably Jews who are doing this. Who
Well, okay.
their interest groups
It's not just Jewish
align with
people, but it's
Israel.
like a lot of different people.
Yeah, but it's the elitists, right? It's the elitists. So not just Jews, but the elitists of the class, and they're going to follow what the elite do. So ask yourself, how come? And now it gets way more complex, right? Of saying I'm not going to put the blame on us of saying how come we don't have a special interest groups with billions, with trillions of dollars to go fight for our interests. You know, that's something that
Very few groups have that.
no,
If like
yeah.
very few groups of people have that.
Well, I think there's a lot of
So
rich Arabs who can make it happen,
uh-huh. And
who get
so
bought.
okay, so why okay, so then why do we have to sit back and die or like watch other people die
I,
while
I
we
I
wait
didn't want
for
to say
this
that because I'm not saying that.
this like capital accumulation to occur? That like by the way, like
No.
you know, you can write the laws so that like nobody can accumulate money. Like you can put barriers in place so that nobody can compete with you. You know that, right? And that like that's what these people do all the time.
Yeah, you can do that, but
Yeah.
the dollar controls. If you have more money, you will get it. That's the root of capitalism. But like I said, I don't want to say that to sit there and say it's okay for what's going on. Oh, just because they got money, they can go fucking exterminate a group of people. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying when we're debating capitalism, a capitalist society allows you to compete, take those special interest groups, and to make your own special interests. Now, it's easier. It's a very easy sentence to say, but when the finite to how to do that is on a
Yeah,
thousand X
I think you
complication.
fundamentally don't understand how money works, and that's why. So it's easier to make money when you have a ton of money, and so when how do you like you're fighting a huge losing battle when you're trying to play a game. So remember when I said you don't fight people on their own terms, like Art of War shit.